Hello, I'm back. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. No, but it's been about 18 months since I last posted a single video. If you remember, in November 2023, I did have an accident. I did break my leg. It took me about 6 months to recover. Then I continued to work because I had no money to go out and do anything. So it's been about 18 months to 2 years since I last posted. So I thought I'll come back. This time I have recorded a few vlogs in advance instead of just literally coming on one vlog, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so I'm going to try to do at least one vlog a week. I am sort of mixing it up a bit. I'm going to try to do a bit of everything random. And this is what this video is. So I am continuing my travel vlogs, my vlogs on days out, everything like that. I am going to do a random few football vlogs in there. It might not be to everyone's taste, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just a bit of fun. By no means am I a football channel. There's tons of football channels out there that I even watch myself that are obviously way better than mine. But I have a bit of football knowledge. I am an Arsenal fan, so this video might be a bit biased, but yeah, but this video, with the Premier League just around the corner, I am going to do a Premier League prediction video. Now, these, like I say, there's tons of football channels out there, tons of Premier League prediction videos, as you know. Like I say, I watch them myself, way better than mine. This one's not serious. I thought I like to do a video. I like to do a video anyway. I don't normally post them, so I thought this one, do a video, post it, see how good my football knowledge is, which would be absolutely helpful. Because I mean, I didn't post it last year, but last season, I got two places right. And they were the relegation places. I didn't even get the Liverpool right. Oh well. But anyway, we'll do it now. People will probably disagree with me in the comments. Do what you like. Like I said, don't take it serious. It's a bit of fun. It'll be cool to look back in 9 months and see how good or completely bad I did do. But yeah, so I thought, you know what? For a video out there, get a bit of fun. Like I say, my travel videos will continue. I have got, where did I go in June? I went to Egypt in June. So I have got a vlog on that. My travel they didn't go how I wanted it. So I've not got enough to do a single video. What I might do with that is I might just clump it all in one for about an hour's video. But anyway, that's another one. But this is a Premier League prediction video. So yeah, let's have a bit of fun out there. Let's get into it. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from 20th to 1st. Obviously not in alphabetical order, just, yeah, 20th to 1st, like we just said. And let's go. I don't know what I'm blabbering on about, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 20th. And in 20th, it's going to be Sunderland. Now, obviously, for the past couple of seasons, the three that have come up have gone straight back down, not really putting up much of a fight. This season, doggies. Just look at that window, there's cute dogs. So this season, I do think they might put up more of a fight, but ultimately, I do think that Sunderland's got the weakest squad out there. I think they are going to ship too many goals and send them down. Yes, they lost a really good midfielder in Joe Bellingham. They have bought Granit Xhaka in, which is a bit of a shock in my opinion. But ultimately, I don't think they're going to do enough. I think they're going to struggle up the top end with scoring goals. But I do think they're going to ship way too many back. Ultimately, though, I do think that Sunderland, even though I predict them to finish bottom, I do think they are going to do way better than the three that went down last season. I think they're going to get more points. So I do think this season is going to be competitive at top end as to the bottom. But I do think some of them will go down and they are going to struggle. If I had to put a point tally on them, how many points I think they'll get, like I said, I think they'll get more than all three that was there last season. I'm going to say 22. I'm saying they'll get 22 points, which, like I say, way better than like Southampton and Leicester and Ipswich that went down last season. So I'm going to say 22. Yeah, I'm not going to predict how many points every team will get, because that's going to be hard. But for Sunderland, I'm going to say 22, which means it's going to be a competitive league, because obviously more teams are going to get the same or more. But yeah, 22 for Sunderland and bottom. You may notice I've changed. Yeah, as I'm sitting here recording this, looked out the window, realised it's pissing it down, as I've literally just popped my washing out 10 minutes ago. And guess what? Just gone out, got piss wet food, got changed. It stopped. Typical. But anyway, back on with the video. Where was that? Oh yeah, 19th. In 19th, I'm getting on this, Jesus Christ. In 19th, it was a toss-up who to put on. I'm going to go with Burnley. I do think Burnley's problem is they are going to ship too many goals again. And I don't see where the goals are going to come from at the other end. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know the Burnley squad too much. I haven't really done any research on it, or none at all. But I just think they are going to ship too many goals in. This is the problem. They had 2 seasons ago when they were up. They shipped too many, and that's why they went down. I generally don't see where the goals are going to come from the other end. Yeah. I was going to put them to stay up, but like I said, I do think the problem is they are going to ship too many. And I don't think they're going to score. I do think they will score. I just don't think they're going to score enough at the other end. So, but like I said, I haven't done much research on them. So maybe I should. But anyway, at the minute, I'm going to go 19th, Burnley. Now, 20th was a hardcore. Sorry, 20th. Where am I? I've lost where I am. 18th, Jesus. 18th is a hardcore. A lot of people just say the top 3 for the 3rd season running to go back down. I don't see it. 18th, I know it's at 20th again. 18th. I've got a few teams that I think might go down that struggle. But ultimately, I am picking Leeds to stay up, which means a few teams there, but I'm going to go Wolves. They have flirted with it for a couple of seasons now. It's been a long time since they were finishing 7th in the table and trying to compete for the Europa League. I do think they are going to run out steam this season. Yeah, there was them and another team that will be next. But Wolves, I just don't see them having enough about, and they've lost too many players. So, and I looked at the recruitment, but I don't think they've put the right players in, if any. So, yeah, I'm going to go Wolves 17th and to go down. In 80, wow, I'm getting my places mixed up. In 17th, can't count. In 17th, I'm going to go with West Ham. Now, at first, I did say to them to be in the relegation zone. But I put Wolves there. I just think West Ham's problem is they're not going to score enough goals. So, we've got a decent defence, but I don't see where the goals are going to come from the other end. So for that reason, I'm going to say West Ham in 17th. I really should have done some research on this. Now in 17th, I'm on 17th, yeah. No, wow, where am I getting these fucking places from? In 16th, jeez. You know, in 16th, I'm going to go with Leeds. Now, I know they've done quite a few recruitments and they've brought some decent players in. The problem is I do think, a bit like West Ham, they might ship too many. They probably could push them a bit further down. But ultimately, I do think they're going to have enough. And I do think they will break that mold of the top 3 that come up, go straight back down for the 3rd season running. I hope they do anyway, because Leeds are a big side. And for me, they should be competing in the Premier League often, not just once in a blue moon. But, yeah, Leeds in 16th. Now in 15th place, finally get one right. Now in 15th place, I'm going to go with Brentford. Now, I know they had finished mid-table last season, but they've lost way too many. They've lost some of the big players. They've lost the keeper. They've lost the captain. I just think, and I don't really know any players they brought in. I think they are selling too many. And unless they do recruitments quite late into the transfer window. So when I'm recording this is the 3rd of August. So it's still quite early in the window. Will they try to get a few over the line before the season starts? Or will they do all the business, depending on how the season goes at the beginning, last minute? So, yeah. I do think for that reason, they might struggle. Obviously, they're not going to go down or anything. I'm saying comfortable 15th. I think they'll start pulling away from the relegation zone around about March, beginning of April. And it'll be basically the last 4 to go that will just compete it. So, yeah, 15 for Brentford, I mean. Now, in 14th, I was going to go Crystal Palace, but I'm going to go Fulham. Because I do think Palace, even though now they've been relegated to the Europa League, I do think they are going to have that on the mind. But they've got a consistent thing with finishing like 12th and 13th. So 14th, I'm going to go Fulham. Fulham, again, is a club that 1 minute they can be competing for Europa League. The next minute they're fighting relegation. And then they've been mid-table. They are up and down massively. And I see this just being an average season for them. No frills of Europa League. No worries about relegation. Yeah, just average season. 14th. In 13th, I've literally just mentioned them. Crystal Palace. Now, I know their thing is finishing basically 12th. They seem to do that every season. But they are going to be distracted, in my opinion, with the Europa League, Europa Conference League. Should be Europa League for winning the FA Cup last season, but Forest, for some reason, they've been booted out the Europa League and dropped in the Conference League. I don't get that one, but anyway, it is what it is. So apparently, Crystal Palace owns too many clubs or something like that. So does Forest, man. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, Crystal Palace in 13th. They might struggle a bit if they lose Eze, who's been linked with Arsenal. I would love him at our club, but I think they might hold on to him. But I don't know. I'm going to say 13th for Palace. Just average mid-table. They might get distracted, like say in Europa League, Europa Conference League. But I do think they'll have enough. So 13th. Into both, I'm going to put Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth have bought a few signings in. Nothing to go, oh, wow, that was amazing. They've not really lost anyone either. I think they're just going to drop off a bit of flat from last season. I think they might struggle a little bit. But I'm going to say, like I say, I'm going to put them in 12th. Yeah. I do think they are going to have the biggest win in their career. But I also think they're going to have a massive defeat. I've just got a strange feeling that I'm going to call it now. They're going to have one of the biggest defeats of the career at the hands of Man City at the Etihad. I'm going to say they'll lose 8-0. I've got this strange feeling. But I also think they might pull off I was going to say a shock win, but it's not anymore. I see him beating... I was going to say Man U, but that's what I'm saying. That's not really a shock. They did it last season. Do you know what? I'm going to say they're going to beat Arsenal 4-0. The Vitality. I don't know. I've just got this strange feeling that I'm going to obviously be pissed off with. But yeah, a massive win against Arsenal for Vitality, but then they're going to lose 8-0 at the Etihad. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'll just see it happening. So now in 11th, I'm going to say Everton. For a couple of seasons ago, in a video that I never posted, I did actually have Everton to go down to the Championship at 3 seasons ago. Yeah, that was the way they were headed. And everyone obviously started making the joke that they'll be going into the new stadium in the Championship. They'll have the best stadium in the Championship. Obviously, it never happened. And when they move into it this season, I do think it will be the push they need and to go on. I think there might be a surprise package at the beginning of the season. Well, not really a surprise package because they are a massive club. I do think they'll have a good run at the beginning of the season, pushing into Europa or even Champions League places. But I think towards the end they will drop off. I think, that, like I said, the new stadium will give them the push they need, and they've got some talented players. But I just think it's going to be too much in the end. Yeah, I think towards the second half of the season they'll start to drop off and realise. But a comfortable 11th place, yeah, mid-table, and I think they will take that after the couple of years they've had, and they'll start looking up to the places they should be, not the places they were heading to a couple of years ago. But 11th for Everton. Now we're officially at the middle of the pack, 10th, right bang in the middle. I'm going to go Brighton. I do think they will drop off a little bit from last season. I was debating putting them a bit lower, but I'm going to say bang in the middle. They've lost a few players, nothing like to shock people about, but yeah, mid-table, 10th, don't know what more to say, 10th. In 9th, I'm going to go with Tottenham. Now, maybe it is a bit biased being an Arsenal fan putting Tottenham, but if I really wanted, that would have chucked them down in 18th for getting relegated. But realistically, obviously that's not going to happen. Yes, it came close to it last season, but obviously that's not going to be back-to-back. That was just a weird season last. It's shown it with half the teams that won cups. Newcastle won a cup. Palace won a cup. Wow, that went at me then. But yeah, and obviously you got your Europa League. Freaking Tottenham won it. How the fuck did that happen? They don't win competitions. Yeah, I got so much stick for that. The fact that we didn't win anything, they did. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, moving on. Their biggest problem will be losing Song. That he did say he wants to leave in the summer. Will he get his move before the season starts in about 2 weeks' time? I don't know. Will he still play but go pro? I don't know. He has says he wants to go, which maybe is the best time to go out because Kane retired. Kane left without picking a trophy up there. Obviously, he did last season at Bayern, but Lee's Song has picked a trophy up. It might be that if you want to leave, it might be the best time to leave with a trophy behind you. 10 years at the club. I'm not going to lie, he has been a really good player there. I don't know where he's going to go after that. Really good Saudi, I'm not sure. But anyway, he says he definitely wants to leave. It's interesting to see where he goes. But for the past 2 seasons, they've lost 2 of the biggest players in Kane and Song now. Yeah, obviously I do think they will pick up from last season. But these are going to be big misses. Kane obviously was a clear miss last season. I think Song might be as well. I was debating on putting them a bit lower, but I'm going to put them 9th. Tottenham fans will still get on at me, saying they should be higher. I personally think they should be a bit lower. That's not being biased, that's the truth. I wouldn't be surprised to see them finish at about 12th or 13th. But ultimately, they are a big club. But they've just not got the players to back them up. So, yeah. I'm going to say 9th. I'm going to be nice. In 8th, I'm going to go with Man U. Now, I was debating them actually just like Tottenham, putting them a bit lower. But realistically, obviously, they're not going to have the poor season they had last season again. I don't know which was worse. Finishing in the bottom half of the table and technically in a relegation battle. But I think they already knew they were going down, obviously. And the 3 clubs basically were putting themselves down. So I think they concentrate on Europa League, but that's bad, losing to Tottenham of all teams. a Champions League winning team like Man U are losing to a, well, let's face it, an average side like Tottenham. So, sorry, I bet they are. They have to take a big, long look in the mirror. And Ruben Amorim, maybe he made the biggest mistake of his life, leaving Sporting. Or should he have had come in at the beginning of last season and put a spin on the club? Because everyone knows when you come in at a club, you want to put your own spin on it, and taking it for someone else, yeah, it's not easy. So will he get the full season this one? Or if it continues, will he go early? I'm not sure. I personally see him getting the sack. I don't see him doing much different to last season. I don't know who they're bringing after him, but yeah, I think they are going to really struggle this season. And I wouldn't be surprised seeing around about 15th, 16th around Christmas time. I think that'll be the time it goes. And then whoever they bring in, I think that will pick the club back up. So I am going to say 8th, but I do think I made a massive mistake leaving Sporting. I mean, yeah, I don't know. He needed a better keeper because O'Donnell's, I'm not going to lie, is a really crap keeper. Hoyland can't score to save his life. Yeah, it's not looking good for him. No, we've got him a decision. I'm going to go 8th. Yeah. But I do think if Amorim stays the whole season, I'm sorry, but I do think they'll finish lower. So maybe I've been a bit too nice here. I'm going to say 8th. Sorry. Right, as for 7th, I weren't sure where to put this club either. This league's hard this season. But in 7th, I'm going to say Forest. Now, being from Nottingham, I'm not a Forest fan, but I have been to a number of games at the City Ground. But obviously, 2 seasons ago, they were flirting with relegation and got lucky not to go down. Last season, they flipped the book massively and were competing for Champions League spots, and they fell off at the end. In my opinion, they should have got that. But obviously, they fell off and they end up finishing Europa League, which technically, that's where they finished, that's where they should be. But somehow they've crept their way into the Europa League anyway. But yeah, it's like technically last season we win all 3 competitions. They compete for Champions League where they should finish. Technically finish Europa League, but they'll start next season in the Europa League. I mean, end up in Cops League. That's what I meant. But yeah, I don't know. Was it a fluke season or will they keep it up? I like to think they'll keep it up. I do think they'll have a decent season. I'm going to say 7th. But just like Man U and Tottenham, I wouldn't be surprised to see them lower. It depends what start they have and how they'll cope with Europa League football. I think they'll do better than Palace with European football. I'd be able to cope with it. They've got a bigger squad for one. Have they got the better players? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say 7th, sod it. Now in 6th, I'm going to go with Aston Villa. Yeah. I'm going to go with Aston Villa in 6th. Generally, I don't know what to say. I'd all say 6th. In 5th, and are they going to miss out on Champions League football? It depends. The English clubs doing in Champions League this season, debating whether the 5th place will go. Wow, I can't speak. Will 5th place be a Champions League spot at the end of the season, or will it be a Europa League spot? That was a hard thing to say. But at the minute, obviously, it's a Europa League spot, so I'm going to put it for Chelsea. I know, obviously, last season they finished 4th. I was debating putting them 4th again. But I don't know. I'm going to say 4 for Chelsea. I do think they're going to have a great season. I actually see them in the title race this season. But just like a lot of other clubs, I do think they will drop off at the end of the season. And I do think they might struggle with this format in the Champions League this season, with the league phase. Obviously, they missed on it last season. And obviously, the time before when they've competed, yes, obviously, I know they've won it in the past. It's obviously been group stages. It's quite easier to get out of. It is a lot harder to get out of group stages. That's the likes of PSG. Ironically, they finished the last place in the qualifying rounds, just crept in, and they went and won the competition. Real Madrid. Yeah, well, to be fair, they had a poor season last, anyway, in every competition. But I do think Chelsea might struggle with this format. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. I do think the league phase might suffer from it. I do see him getting out in the Champions League. I do see him getting out of the league phase. And I do see him getting to the quarters before getting knocked out. And I think it will have a toll on the league. And I think they'll just drop out into 5th place and drop into Europa League. At the minute, might be Champions League, but we'll see. But yeah, 5th place, Chelsea. In 4th place, I'm going to go Newcastle. Now, obviously, they'll be buzzing from last season winning the Carabao Cup for the first time in a long time. I can't remember how many years it was, but a long time. They have bought some good players in. Obviously, the problem is if they lose Isak at the minute, obviously they've still got him. And obviously, if he goes, they'll be linked with Sesko. Obviously, they don't want to lose him. I think it is heading towards him going to Liverpool. But it's interesting if he don't go and he stays. What's the reception going to be for him if he does stay and plays? And will they still get Sesko, Newcastle, or try to get him? I'm not sure. I know they've bought other players in, like Ramsdale in goal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll have a good season. And again, I think they'll be in title race, but I do think it's pretty much going to be a competition between Chelsea and Newcastle to get 4th place. At the minute, I'm giving it to Newcastle. But it's interesting what happens with Isak's situation. Now we're into the top 3. And obviously it's going to be the same 3 that I'm going to pick as it was last season. Which way for the format? Which positions to put each team? Obviously, Man City finished 3rd last season, had a drop-off. Do I think they're going to have another poor season this one? No. Do I think they're going to be in the title race? Yes. It's a hard way to put them. I know people are going to come for me for this, but in 3rd place, I'm going to go Liverpool. Now... No, sod it. No. Scrap that. I'm not going to go Liverpool. In 3rd, I'm actually going to go Arsenal. Now, no, we've finished 2nd for the last, 3 seasons, and everyone takes a mick out for the same with the bottom team, which is annoying, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I do think we'll miss out on that. I do think we'll win at the FA Cup. But I also think this is Arteta's last season. He'll get sacked at the end. I think we'll keep him for the whole season. But I think he'll be gone by the end of the season. Yes, we've now got Cress and Zubimendi. And we have brought in quite a few players and got rid of a few as well. But I don't see Gyökeres bringing the same numbers he did from Portugal because it's a way harder league, the Prem. Do you think he'll get goals? I'm going to say he's going to get 15 goals in the league and 7 in the Champions League. That's what I'm going for number-wise. It will be an annoying time. It's basically a backward step, and the FA Cup's not going to be enough to keep him. Hopefully I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I think Man City and Liverpool are too strong this season. I'm going to go Arsenal in 3rd. I mean, I so hope I'm wrong on that. But I do see Arteta's last season. It's what it is. In second place then, I was debating which team to put where, Newcastle and Liverpool. I'm going to go Man City in second, which obviously means Liverpool win the league. For that reason, I'm going to put Man City in second because, like I say, I think they will bounce back from last season. They'll be in a title race, not till the last day, but at least till May. But I just think Liverpool will have too much to go. Like I say, it all depends on this Isak deal. This Isak deal for Liverpool, if they can get over the line. Because I think Isak and Salah on the same team will be too much. And they'll just boss it. If they don't get him, maybe it can change. Probably put Man City top. But for the minute, yeah, I'm going to say Liverpool top, Man City second. I've got this strange feeling that it'll be hard as last season at Man City. I don't know why. And I do think he's going to get a move. Possibly, I don't know if it'll be Real Madrid or Barcelona, but I do see him going to one. People probably call me stupid for it, but yeah. I don't know. I just think that he won't be happy. Because obviously when he came to the club, they were dominating, winning everything. And then they've got to go 2 seasons without winning anything. Yes, I'm predicting not to win anything. And obviously Liverpool to win back-to-back Premier Leagues. And I do think Haaland will get annoyed at it. And with De Bruyne leaving Man City, I do think it will affect him. Not much, but I do think it will affect him. But unfortunately, I do think with Jota passing away, it might give Liverpool the incentive to go on and win the league again, like doing it as member. It's like the end of the season, winning the league with him, and they'll be starting it without him. And yes, that happens a lot, but that don't happen because someone's passed away. That happens, well, because obviously they move on. But I do think it'll give them the incentive to go on and win it again. Yeah. But like I say, if they get this Isak deal over the line, yeah, they'll win the league. If they don't, I'm going to say Man City, but for this, Liverpool top, Man City second. Now, that has been my predictions for the 25-26 Premier League season. It was just a bit of fun, like I say. It's nothing major. Half of the freaking players I didn't even know that have gone to each club. I haven't done any research on this. I've done it blind, just for my own knowledge. So yeah, I thought just it'll be a nice video to look back on in 9 months' time and see how really bad I've done. Or see if I have actually got some, even though I don't know half the players, see if I've got some ball knowledge on the teams. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if half these things that I've said do happen. A bit like the Ruben Amorim going, so. But yeah. But what I'm going to do here at the end is I'm going to predict the first manager gets sacked, because it always happens. And the top goal scorer for the Premier League. And I'm going to do what player I think I'm going to get the most yellow cards. So, obviously, like I say, I do think Ruben Amorim is going to get the sack. And I will say he's going to be the first manager, because I think he's going to struggle for the first half of the season. I think it will be probably January time he goes, followed by a couple of other managers. But I'm going to say him, and I'm going to say 3 managers go altogether. But yeah. As for the Golden Boot, I would love, obviously, to say Gyökeres, because that means we're gonna score a lot of goals. But like I say, I think he's only going to get about 15 goals for the season. I think Haaland will get more. But I'm going to go Isak Golden Boot winner. Like I say, if he gets it over the line, it'll be interesting if he doesn't go and he does play for Newcastle, what reception he gets. And if he'll get, I think he'll get goals, whichever, but yeah. Isak Golden Boot, Newcastle, Liverpool. I'm going to say to get the most yellow card, to get the most yellow cards next season, it's going to be Lucas Paquetá for West Ham. I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, is he either going to be him or Cucurella at Chelsea? I don't know why Cucurella fouled a lot. I think he might do. I was going to say Dan Burn, but I don't think he's actually going to play much next season. Yeah. I've just looked it up and it said Liam Delap was John, one of the most yellow cards for last season, but that was when he was at Ipswich. And I think he's gone to Chelsea, if I remember rightly. I don't see him, I do see him playing. I just don't see him playing as much as he did basically at Ipswich. He was the main man at Ipswich. I don't think he's going to be at Chelsea. So I don't think he's going to play as much. That's why I picked him. But yeah. Kukure and Pakadia do foul a lot, so I'll go with that. You never know. Yeah, anyway, like I said, this was just a bit of a laugh, a bit of fun, a bit of random. I thought I'd just do it. Just something like on the side of like my normal vlogs I do, so just feel the content really. You never know. Some people are interested, it might not be as well. Like I say, by no means I'm a football channel. It's just a bit of laugh, bit of random. Might do a few football more content. I want to try and get to a few games this season, but I don't know if I will or not, so just continue with work and stuff. But who knows? No one knows the future. So yeah, it's just a bit of a laugh. But if you like the content, just please give us a like. It does help massively. I'm gonna try to grow the channel again. I mean, it was never big anyway. It's just a bit of like I just like doing random videos. So if I don't get the comment, if I don't get the subscribers or the view, it's not the end of the world. So I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it for a bit of fun. People like it, they can join along. So it's one of them. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.